pursuit for the Triple Crown commences at Indianapolis in 2019 for Fernando Alonso. The track is green again. Rookie orientation for many of these drivers, their first chance to circle the 2.5-mile oval in an IndyCar is now underway. Special moment for so many.
This really is here, and definitely for this guy, but also for the guy following him, J.R. Hildebrand, in the Salesforce Dreyer and Reinbold car. Been a while since he's been in the car in anger, and he's going to... So I wonder if maybe a bit of a mechanical problem here for Fernando Alonso as he's rolling out very, very slowly. Looks like that car has a fairly big vibration, so could potentially be a small issue here on the install lap for Alonso.
Keep in mind, I think this is the first time this car has been on a racetrack, right? When they were in Texas a few weeks ago for the test, that was their backup car that was prepared in the States. This was prepared in the UK at the McLaren shop.
Yeah, and it appears to be some fairly significant cutouts. Not sure if that's electronics or if that's fuel pressure, but you can see his head just kind of jiggling back and forwards every time he tries to go for the power. So this will almost certainly be a yellow flag right away as they're going to have to tow him back in.
No.
So
You're right.
You know, I remember thinking 2 years ago when, as we see the yellow come out, how bold it was really for McLaren and Andretti to allow us to watch their test. Tests are private for a reason because things like this happen, and no one really wants this displayed in front of a worldwide audience, but they were willing to let us eavesdrop on that, and how fascinating it was. And Robin, you were on pit lane, kind of listening into the debriefs and everything else along with that. So they're doing it again here, but now they don't have the support of Andretti Autosport preparing those cars. Katie, what do you know about what's going on with Fernando Alonso?
Yeah, Kevin, I actually just checked in with Fernando's crew chief, Anton Julian, and if that name sounds familiar to you, that's because his brother, Blair Julian, is the crew chief on Scott Dixon's car. But I asked Anton what's wrong with the number 66, and he told me it's simply just a low battery, so nothing much to worry about just yet, but they will tow that 66 back to pit lane to make sure that's all that is wrong.
yeah, easy to have these sort of teething issues. And to your point, Kevin, you're exactly right. They didn't use this car for the test at Texas Motor Speedway. That was a Carlin Racing built car, and this is the car that's been in Woking that has been built from the ground up by McLaren. So, you know, this is by no means a representation of what we're going to expect the end product to be, but certainly an easy thing here when this is the first time that you're taking that car back out on track for the first time.
But oftentimes with the new car, you're going to see electrical issues. That is typical for anyone the first time they put the car on track. You know, Dragon Speed, I know, had that their first test at Sebring. I think this car, the backup car, had some issues getting going in Texas. That's typical. That's usually how it is, and it is disjointed at the beginning. So that's why this is critical. Get this out of the way, so even if they don't get to find anything about the aero of the car and its speed, at least try to get the thing sorted. So that's what's at stake right now for not only this team, but every team.
Yeah, exactly. And luckily, all the other teams got their install lap done, so they'll be back in pit lane now, just going over everything on the car, taking shock covers off. So it's, yeah, it was a fairly opportune time for the car to break down here and didn't really disrupt the running too much for anyone else.
You know, to Kevin's point, last year or 2 years ago, when we got to eavesdrop on Alonso's thing, think about how honest he was. The first couple times he got out of the car, he let us interview him right away. He said, well, my right foot says stay down and my brain says lift off.
Yeah.
I mean, how you can't top that. That was so honest.
Yeah.
So now the question is, how long does it take to recharge the battery?
Yeah, exactly. And actually, that brings up a good point. I'm not exactly sure where. I believe the batteries are positioned inside one of the side pods. So I'm not sure how difficult of a process it is to reach in there, if there's anything they can do to give that battery a bit of a booster, if it actually requires just a brand new battery. Yeah. Also, look at it. Not that I can see, no radiator blockers on Fernando Alonso's car either.
Can you judge anything from the rear wing angle there?
Honestly, with as small as this rear wing is,
it doesn't do a whole lot anyway, does it?
Exactly. So I mean, you can make a change, but it's not for overall downforce level. It's more for shift of balance.
Okay.
And so I think I used to be able. You used to be able to just walk up and down pit lane and see who's running -6, who's running
Exactly.
-9, who's running neutral. But with this wing, A, it doesn't have a huge effect, and B, it's so small that you almost can't even see it. And actually, where you can see it is on the lower mounting point of the rear wing. That's where the adjuster sits, so that's where you can see it with the frame that holds the wing up. So, but yeah, Fernando rolling into pit lane, but luckily we have a lot of other rookies as well that are taking to the track here.
Yeah, that was a bit anticlimactic now, so we'll try again here coming up in a moment while they address Fernando Alonso's mechanical issue and the battery. We get a chance for others like Santino Ferrucci turning his first laps at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Felix Rosenqvist for the first time in an IndyCar. Marcus Ericsson, for the first time in anything.
Yeah, Connor Daly, great chance for him as well here. Actually seeing some familiar faces on his car. Poppy,
Davey
Lars,
yeah.
He's the crew chief on that car. Jessica Mace, who's walking around the front of the car, she's been one of Andretti Autosport's superstar mechanics in the Indy Lights category, and getting the chance here to move up to the IndyCar series, she just does a phenomenal job. So a lot of experience here on Connor Daly's car.
Jessica, I'm pretty sure, has changed a tire in the Indianapolis 500, been over the wall before. We saw her there putting on the right front. Don't know if she's doing that. That doesn't mean that she's doing it for the race, but just to point out, she has done it in the Indianapolis 500 before.
Tremendously skilled mechanic she is. It's Felix Rosenqvist now on track, so let's see if we can get this rookie orientation program on the go and what Felix thinks about this place.
I am told, by the way, that Jessica will be over the wall changing the inside rear for Connor Daly's car.
Awesome.
So very cool. That's been, another story is how many young ladies and females have taken on very prominent roles in the IndyCar community. We referenced Kara Adams, the lead engineer for Firestone. There are so many that are in the engineering department, mechanical department within the world of IndyCar teams and the organization now. It's been great to see that diversity over the last few years. Green flag is out. Felix Rosenqvist in the NTT data number 10 for Ganassi Racing is working his way up the speed, going through rookie orientation at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
I guarantee you, first time he crossed that yard of bricks, goosebumps.
Yeah.
No questions about it. That's when all the emotions set in for the first time.
This is probably a pretty big moment for Sweden right now, that they've got two rookies that are seeing their first laps at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So you can maybe give them a word, feel free, in their language. You've been doing some Swedish, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm actually hosting the Swedish TV shows this year for IndyCar, and the interest has been tremendous in Sweden. And Marcus obviously has a tremendous following from his days in F1, but I think the country is getting more and more behind Felix Rosenqvist as well, understanding what he's achieved, even though it hasn't necessarily been so in the limelight. But Felix Rosenqvist now, it is those 3 stages that he's got to clear. So initially here, he just did an install lap, but after that, he's got to do a sequence of laps in around 210 miles an hour, or just above 210 miles an hour, then on to 215 miles an hour, then up to 220 miles an hour, and once he's through that, then he can basically go as he wants. But completing the rookie phase is something